Now, if you're managing a multi-cloud, it's a challenge to have visibility in all these cloud environment in a single dashboard. Because if an organization you work for, if they have AWS, Azure, GCP, all these cloud environments, then going one by one into this environment and having the telemetry and signals and data analytics into different environment is not even good when it comes to centralized security monitoring, centralized observability of your environment. So in order to address this issue, I'm going to explore some of the CSPM tool. In my previous video, I gave you a high level idea how to go through some of the Gartner report, and this one we're going to look into some of the tools. So let me show you that. So today I'm talking about this Wiz. I'm doing a screen recording, not directly on the computer but through the cameras. I hope this is visible. So if you look at the first thing I brought you here for you is Wiz, and to give you an idea, we reviewed it already in a Gartner report, so you can go back and check that. But here we are looking at what kind of solutions basically it has. And then infrastructure code is IaaC. It's very, very important when you are doing a development pipeline. So they have something for secure deployment and development of your code, and directly applies to DevSecOps. So if you're working with the developers, you want to make sure your development meets the requirement of basic security control. This is one of the modules you may want to look into and have a better understanding how does it work, and they have all details. By that being said, I'm not promoting any of their products. I'm just going to cover this product, and I will cover some other products. So it's going to be a totally unbiased review. I'm not saying good and bad. I'm just telling you what technology and solution available in the market. Then we have supply chain. Supply chain is another one where you work with the different vendors. And how do you make sure those vendors are good? So that what it talks about, identify supply chain security risk is a huge. Also with the AI is gonna be get more worse, in other words. So that's another thing, SBOM and supply chain risk. And let's talk about scanning, container, IAC scanning, integration with your code repository and all that. So again, you can dig deeper into that, and you can find out and do a research and learn about it. Next, they have secure container images. So give you an idea, if you have not worked on the container, basically it will look into your container, Kubernetes and all that stuff in those cloud environment, and it will do the scanning of the images. Their images can be your custom built images or from your marketplace. It depends how you deploy it. So that's the sensor they have. Now in the middle here they have exposure and posture management. AI will cover it a bit later, but with cloud compliance. So let's see what that is all about. So they have 100 plus built-in framework, which is the thing which I like it. So you don't have to manually look into NIST, HIPAA and all that. Literally, it allows you to go into that, which I believe just pull the report against any framework. So if you're deployment and you need to have the compliance score against NIST, then you can just run the NIST report against your subscription. It will give you the details. So this is very handy. This is very important. They're gone were the days we used to do all manual stuff. Now you don't have to do it manually. You can do it automated. It saves you tons of time, and of course with your experience and knowledge you can bring the value, because sometimes a risk in a situation A may not be the risk in a situation B. That is always very important. That being said, we have infrastructure entitlement management, we have data security, which I will definitely want to touch, especially these days. There will be most likely a separate video for data security posture management, and we know that all the data is in the cloud, whether AWS AS3 bucket, Azure blob storage, file storage, you name it. Basically it will look into the data security across the pipeline where the data is stored, as you can see, whether it's a GitHub repository or bin branch, and how to do access, and if it ends up in a bucket list, and if there's a breach. So it gives you the threat landscape right here. And data discovery and classification is a huge topic. If I have to do a video, it can easily take 3-4 hours. How does it work? Because data discovery and classification is very important in order to achieve data security. If you have not classified the data, there will be no way you can figure out and apply different policies, because there cannot be all the policies for all the data. Data has to be classified, and then it allows to run data security risk assessment. And for this assessment, you need to know the classification of data, because the data is not classified, again, you cannot run a good risk assessment. And this is what gives you some sort of a simple compliance report here. Data access management, again, as I said, there are some native tools available in particular AWS Azure environment, but if you want to do a multi-cloud and if you configure it, then it can give you the information what I'm talking about across your cloud. Then we have CSPM, which we have covered a lot in our last video about what it is. CSPM, how does it work? But basically, you're looking for the misconfiguration. If there's an S3 bucket without encryption, is there an S3 bucket or blob storage without any account, or may have anonymous access, it will detect those. And here it shows you the threat landscape, how a threat can occur into a IAC pipeline. It's giving you that and give the full visibility. It pulls the security logs from your multi-cloud environment, and they have their machine learning and all that stuff, and give you a very good compliance for the posture. Also remove risk, so you have IAC. So this is another a good feature they have. Attack surface management, unified vulnerability management, because this is more of a vulnerability scanner feature they have. You must have heard of Qualys vulnerability scanner, but if your workload is in the cloud, Wiz already integrated, so it can give you cloud scanning, leveraging along with 120,000 supported vulnerability across 40 operating system. So again, you have just one tool which can give you the capability to look into your whole infrastructure. As I said, is for multi-cloud environment, large enterprises. But you need to know the all thing about the features and capabilities. So it always helps you make a decision when it comes to the security of your whole infrastructure, not just one LLM model or one tool in your environment. And it has all those benchmark and matrices. AI SPM, as I said, we'll cover this before we close our topic for today. So many companies are leveraging AI model, but if they really know what's going inside those models, so basically it gives some of these details, AI pipelines, which is a good one you need to understand. Second is all about AI misconfiguration, because AI LLM depends on the data, the API and all that. So how your API is set up, your data connectors are set up, the data is being used to set up, so all the misconfiguration piece and AI attack path. Still, I have not used it, so I need to understand how does it remove the AI attack paths from those LLM model. This is more applicable more towards your custom LLM model versus available from Azure, which is OpenAI and Gemini enterprise product. But if you're going to make your own LLM model, definitely this is going to help you. I have already a same video for Shadow AI. You will see it depending what time I have posted. So that topic I already covered. Shadow AI is the new Shadow IT. And then as you can see this, and all these models you see here, some of them are like open source, and some of them are from the enterprise Azure, and Databricks is proprietary one. So again, which model do you use? It can go look into those, and it can give you the reporting that what is being misconfigured along those lines. Data security for AI, attack analysis, you can see. And then it also has a priority of those issue critical, high, and all that. So that's very handy and pretty helpful. So That's pretty much I wanted to cover in this video. When you work in a large scale environment and you have hundreds of thousands of users globally, multi-cloud environment, you have to know your overall security, and cyber security information is a huge big topic. I already talked about 12, 15 different roles where the people they work in large enterprise. Cybersecurity teams are very large, 150 people, 200 people in those organizations, and then everybody own these areas. But knowing the capabilities really help you make better decision. So if you are using this product, let me know, or any other CSPM product, which I would love to know. And stay tuned for future more product. I will be doing, I think, a Palo Alto in my next video. But if you have any other product, we can go dig deeper once I get enough comments. That being said, I'll see you in my next video, and thank you.